Looney Farm Guy here with the new mod test for Farming Simulator 22, and this is the Vineyard Pack Crossplay by SMI Modding Team, E.T.A, Marchoise, and EdoMod. This is 77.74 megabytes to download, and as the title suggests, this is crossplay, so for its all platforms. There is a PC and Mac version, or PC and Mac only version of this as well. However, this is as stated, the crossplay version. So if you PC players want to be playing with the console players in a crossplay, this is the one you need to be using rather than the other one. Just a pre-note there, a side note as it were. Now, this pack includes 11 pieces of grape or vineyard machinery, and the way I'm going to go about testing and reviewing these, we're going to start with the tractors, and then using these tractors we are going to go through each piece individually as we go along, trying to keep it kind of sort of easy to understand and sensible, and you can kind of fast forward or move forward to the particular piece of equipment that you may be interested in. So I'm going to start. So as I said, we're going to start with the tractors, and then we're going to let's have a look at it anyways first. We're going to look at it under the Vineyard or mods and DLCs, and as you can see, the two tractors are kind of front and forward, and then we have a harvester, a trailer, fertilizer. This is a mulcher, a subsoiler, another mulcher, and again another mulcher, a pre-pruner, and then a sprayer. Slot counts vary from 3 to 11. The sprayer is 11 slots. We're going to go through each one of them in that order, except for the tractors. We'll take the tractors first, and then we'll look at the harvester. So let's go on to our first subject to look at and review, the tractors. So to start us off, we're going to look at the two tractors that are included in this pack. And if you want to just look at the small tractors, they will be under small tractors. And here they are, the Landini REX4 GT and the 200V Vario. So let's take a look at the Landini first. Up to 112 horsepower, manual transmission, 24 miles per hour traveling speed, 80 liters of fuel. And I do believe this was 3 slots on console, something like that. 3 and 5 for the Fendt, I do believe. Now, let's have a look. It does have some options. We have the engine, the 70 horsepower, 76, 90, 95, 102, and 112. So lots of variables in there, lots of choice. We have wheels, Trelleborg, Michelin, Midas, Vredestein, and Trelleborg. In Trelleborg, we have some choices. Standard, we have the Pinot track, which is new, and standard. So that is a grapevine or orchard vineyard type specialty tire. In Michelin, we have, that is the only choice. Midas, we have standard and wide. Vredestein, standard and wide. And back to Trelleborg with that specialty vineyard tire. No charge for that. And $500 for the wides if you want to go for wides in Midas or any of that. So let's go with the Vineyard specialty track. 3-point link, yes, is the default. No, you don't have to have it on there if you don't want to, but some of the implements do offer a front mount, so you might want, but it's nice that you could remove that. Save yourself a little bit of money. Main color, we have the Landini blue or a metallic blue, which I have out there, and rim color black or white. All tricked out, $62,300. Now looking at the Fendt, a few less options, but we do have the 79 horsepower, 84, 94, 104, 114. So up to 114 horsepower. wheel brands, Trelleborg, Midas, Vredestein. Oh, that's it. And we have the pre-new track Vineyard specialty tires available in Midas, just wides and standard, Vredestein wide and standard, and back to Trelleborg with those fancy dancy Vineyard tires. All tricked out, 94,500, so a little bit more money for the Fent. But before we move on to the next piece of equipment, we should probably hop in and take a look at these. Inside we have, it's already running, the typical Fent interior. It's very small. It has the variable rate transmission, so very nice for moving around. We have front and rear lighting, signals, no bells and whistles, horn, like so. So pretty standard as far as little tractors go. If we hop into the Landini inside, it is already running, and as you can see, it's manual, so clutch depression and gear shifting is all synchronized. No opening doors or anything like that. If we come out and light up the lights and beacon signals, yes, very standard there, very nice. Of course, the Landini is a little bit slower to get going because of the standard transmission and shifting through the gears and such. Very nicely detailed. And there we are. And so now we can move on to the next piece of equipment. Alright, so the next piece of equipment we're going to look at is the grape harvester, or the Lizard 8050. Now this you will find under Grape Technology. And here it is, the Lizard 8050, $131,350. 68 horsepower required to pull, 7 miles per hour. It is a grape harvester. No options. It is an interesting piece. It's a trail behind a grape harvester, the first one that we have as far as to my knowledge. We have the license plate option, but that's it. So let's hook it up here. And I'll show you how it is. I just purchased this. I didn't do anything to it yet. If we hook it up, there we go. So what do we have here? Well, we have two pieces actually, which is interesting. And if I highlight the rear, we have this piece, which is, looks like a power. The PTO is hooked up to it. So it looks like it's, if we back up, there we go. The hydraulics and everything hook up to it. So it's just kind of, obviously it's part of the harvester. We have a beacon there, as you can see. Lights. We have a light at the rear, so well lit. Now, L1 and X unfolds a harvester, and it will just basically lift it up, ready to go. But we're not yet ready to go. L1 and down, pipe out. I'm not sure that we're going to test that out in a minute. I don't see anything actually happening, but again, like I say, we have one out on the Vineyard to demonstrate it in action, and then we will unload it. We have L1 and right stick left and right does this. So that is where you angle it from going from transport mode to working mode. So that's how you do it. L1 and right stick left and right. We also have L1 and right stick up and down, which adjusts the angle of the harvester depending on which vehicle you're using. That could be helpful because the vines do have collision. R1, L1 and R1, that is it. Then you have the option to turn it on, of course, and off. Right, so let's hop over here. We have it all set up, ready to go, and I've been harvesting some grapes. So L1 and square. Oh, engine, turn on the engine. That would help. L1 and square, there we go. It is on, ready to go, and as we move forward, it is a little bit tricky to get lined up, but once you kind of got it lined up, you just kind of make sure you keep going straight forward, and it will harvest your grapes for you. As you can see, I made a little break in here because these vines are very long, but we have enough in there now that we can unload. So we're going to turn around here, turn that off. We're good to go, and I'm going to go grab a grape trailer, the grape trailer that actually comes with this. So we're going to test it out together, and that's going to be probably our next one to look at anyways, but let's go grab that. Okay, so here we are. We got our trailer in the unfolded mode. We talk about that in a moment. And as we back up, we notice that it doesn't do any. Oh, it does do something. Pipe out, pipe. So the pipe out, pipe in. See, now it's not doing anything. It's a little confusing for me, but if we go L1 and down on D-pad, now it's pipe out. So I guess that's what's saying the pipe is out now, or the unload is out, and there we go. It just automatically recognizes it and empties into it. Right. A little bit backwards from, yes. So it says pipe out, that means the pipe is out, or the unloading option is ready to unload. And that is pretty much all there is to it for that. The Lizard 8050, that's the grape harvester. So we're going to move on next to, obviously, the trailer. All right, so our next victim is the Feltrina Vigneto trailer. I would probably recommend a somewhat of a larger trailer, perhaps, or larger tractor to pull this rather than the little guys that come with it. But at 114 horsepower for the both of them, I think they should be able to pull it around, at least around the farmyard. So let's have a look at it, where we're going to find it. Grape Technology is a good place to start, and there it is, $42,500, 12,000 liters, 3 tons, and it will hold grapes and grapes only. We do have a couple of options: Nokian, Michelin, Vertestein, and Nokian. Those are the 3 tire choices brands. No choice inside those brands. And we also have a main color, which you can choose whichever one you want. That is the frame. So if you want to go with the pink frame, if you want to go with the Fent color, or say the Limkin, or wait, where's the Landini? Oh, we don't have Landini. Limkin's pretty close. Or even orange if you like. $1,000 for the color change. Excuse me. Even Kloss if you choose. Right, so a couple fairly simple as far as grape trailers go. L1, we do have the L1 and X, which unfolds it, which puts down those stability type stanchions or little what do you say, braces all around to stabilize it so that it's like firmly in place. Of course, if you try to drive around with it, it makes it very awkward. So L1 and X retracts those. We also have, now that it's up, there we go, R1, tip side left or right. So that makes it convenient. Here we have filled this up with grapes from a buy anything point. There we go. Grapes L1 and triangle, or R1 and triangle, sorry. And there it is, unloading at, oh, there we go. slow at first, but seems to quickly unload as it goes. That's fairly realistic, actually. Very nice. Lights. We have lights. Do we have a beacon? No beacons. I don't think. Oh, I don't have beacons on the tractors, so I don't think there's any beacons. We do have signals. There we go. And there you go. That's the Feltrina Vigneto. Moving on to our next piece of equipment. So the next piece of equipment in this pack is going to be the APV Diretta V. It is a fertilizer spreader, or well, fertilizer piece of equipment to fertilize your vineyards. That's going to be found. We're going to find that also under the grape technology. No, we're not. I found it under the... Alright, so it's going to be under fertilizer spreaders. Yeah, there it is. Fertilizer spreaders if you're looking for it outside of the mods, downloaded mods. APV Diretta V 19,500 granulated fertilizer or dry fertilizer only, 68 horsepower required, 500 liter capacity, 1.5 tons, 2 meters in width at 7 miles per hour. It has no options for configurations. Now, if we hop in and disconnect it, that is how we get it, just like that. Back up to it, attach it, and there it is. Oh, nearly ready to go. We have the lower, it calls it a seeder for some reason. However, it only takes fertilizer, as you can see. You can turn it on, open the cover. That's how you do that. And we're just going to fill it up with some fertilizer here. There we go. Fills it with fertilizer. L1 and left closes that lid. We have some lights. Signals. No beacons. And so that's how we have it set up. Oh, it's a bit heavy for this little fella, as you can see. The tires are a little squashed, but it is able to handle it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's kind of neat. I like that. You can tell there's some weight on there. Right, so off to the, we have one here. And you can also tell there's a bit of weight on this one, although it seemed to be handling it a little bit better. Right, so L1 and O lifts and lowers. It doesn't really lift and lower all that much. There you go. It is now lowered. And turning it on and off, L1 and square. And you just drive forward and it fertilizes between the rows. As you can see here, it's going down using some of that fertilizer. If we have a quick peek at our... Let's see if it's going to show fertilized. Yes, so there we go. Fertilized, as you can see, very nicely. Like so. And that's pretty much simply that. A nice little fertilizer for your vineyards. That is the APV Diretta V. Moving on to our next piece of equipment. So the next piece of equipment we're going to be looking at is the Lizard Grinton. This is a mulcher. However, you will find it under grape technology. And here it is. The Grinton, $5,900 to purchase, 65 horsepower required, 900 kilograms, 2 meters, working with at 7 miles per hour. We do have a couple of options. We have back attach or front attach. So basically, you're either attaching it to the front of the tractor or the rear, and you pull it behind you. Those are the only two options we have here. So I have the rear attach one option here, and I will show you. We do have a couple of options with this option. L1, we can lower or raise it. You don't need to turn it on. It basically just works as a pull-along mulcher. We also have L1 and the right stick, so right stick left and right moves that inner one in and out, and right L1 and right stick up and down moves that rear one. So you can adjust each of them individually, which is kind of neat. Although if you're a little bit not so precise with your joystick, they could be moving along both of them. And then, of course, just lowering it and going along. There it is. It starts working as you go along. So it is, as you can see here, mulching grass. So if we hop over here, we have it mounted to the front, and the same applies. So let's just see if we lower it and go backwards, it will, yes. So I guess it doesn't really matter which way. The animation will go the correct way if you have it, but it will actually work both ways. If we drop it off here and turn around. So that's actually kind of nice. Well, let's see what happens here when we drop it. Yeah, so it will still work on both forward and backward. Just the animation is going to be backwards if you have the front mount and you hook it on the rear. So what you're really supposed to do with this is use it for mulching between the rows. Of course, here I don't have any grass between the rows or anything that it'll do right now for that, but that's how it works. So there you go. That is the Lizard Grinton from the and this is from the Vineyard pack Crossplay. Moving on to our next item. And the next piece of equipment we're going to be looking at is the Sauve 2. Lizard Sauve 2. This is a subsoiler, and as a result, you will actually find it under Subsoilers, Tools and Subsoilers, and there it is, the Lizard Sauve. $6,300 to purchase, 90 horsepower required to operate, 700 kilograms, 2 meters, and 3 miles per hour. We have the Sauve 2 or the Sauve 3. So the 2 is just a 2 subsoiler blade, I guess you could say, and the 3 adds a third one. So if you want to, well, we'll show you anyways. Right, so let's hook it up. There we go. We do have lights on it, signals. No reverse lights, but brake lights. Now let's have a look through the options here. We got lift and raise and lower, and we also have L1 and right stick left and right moves that right side in and out, and then up and down. We get to adjust those rollers for depth control. Right stick, and you get to adjust that outside right one too. So left L1, right stick, R1, right stick, L1 up and down will adjust the depth. That doesn't really actually do anything because it's just something to play with. L1 and R1, no options there. Right. So we do have L1 and triangle allow to create fields, which I'm going to probably make a mess over here to show you that. Let's lower it. And there we go. So apparently you don't need that inner one. Let's those are adjusted out all the way. Yeah, so it is strictly just a subsoiler, as you can see, like so. It will create a plowed state. Working speed. Did I say working speed? Yeah, 3 miles per hour. Not very quick, as a matter of fact. And here we have the one with the extra tine in the middle. And as we go forward, you can see I have the create fields on. So we are actually plowing in between here, creating a field, because this was not planted on a field. So that's pretty simply all there is to that. So you can see I've plowed here, and amongst the weedage and all sorts of other stuff, we have it plowed between here, as you can see. So there you go. That is the Sauve 3 and Lizard Sauve 2 and 3. So moving on to the next piece of equipment. And so for our next piece of equipment, this is the Lizard Mix Rev 160, and this can actually be found under Tools and Mulchers. Yes, another mulcher. Here it is, Mix Rev, $6,500. Requires 100 horsepower, 1.6 to 2 meters in width, and 7 mile per hour working speed. We have an option to make it the either 1.6, 1.8, or 2 meter in width. As you can see here, we have dual attachments, so it can be worked on the front or rear of a vehicle, which we will show. $7,100 for that with the extra length. So as you can see here, you can hook it up either there, or we can hook it up at the rear. Now the other, actually this side, I do believe, yeah, it doesn't matter which side, because there's no lights on there or anything, so we can just go ahead and hook it up there, I do believe, because yeah, so no lights, no signals, no nothing. It is strictly just a mulcher, and as you can see, the PTO shaft hookup is either or, front or rear, however you choose. So let's hop in. L1, lower and raise mulcher. That's pretty simple with the O button. We have, aside from turning it on, right stick, L1 right stick. We can adjust with your right and left. We can slide that back and forth to whichever side you want it to, actually. And that's about it. So let's hop over here. We have the wider one on the rear, actually. And we're just going to turn it on, lower it. And as you can see here, it's mulching grass. And if we zoom in here, we can adjust that back and forth like that as well. And let's just lift that up. I'll show you what it looks like inside the vineyard or between the vines. Again, mulching is something you do probably not when the plants are in this state. But anyways, forward you go, and as you can see, if we adjust the width there, it will you can get really close if you want to with the one side, or center it sort of like that. Whatever you may wish to do. 7 miles per hour is the working speed. And that's the Lizard MIX REV 200. Moving on to the next piece of equipment. Alright, the next piece of equipment we're going to look at is the Lizard Multi. This again is a mulcher of a sort, and not there, but here we'll find this one under Grape Technology. And there it is, $4,500, 40 horsepower required, 0.3 meters in width, 4 miles per hour. We'll show you why. We have mulcher or cultivator, which, yes, we will show you both of those now. First of all, again, they just attach these. This is how they appear in the store. You attach it. This is the mulcher version. Oops, there we go. L1 and X unfolds it so it moves it out a little bit, like so. L1 and circle lowers it, and square turns it on. So that is the mulching little unit. So that, and then we have L1 and right stick up, up goes down, down goes up, so you can adjust the height very slightly. Now if we hop over to here, the other version of that is a cultivator version. And same idea, L1 and X unfolds it. This one you don't turn on, or it doesn't turn on, oddly enough. We have the lower mulcher, and we also have the L1 and right stick up and down that it very slightly adjusts the height, and as you go forward it just kind of works. And this one you just move forward, it's already turned, it is because it's turned down. Now let's go with this one first. Here is the mulcher. So now we'll L1 and turn it on, and as we come up to the, it does that. It kind of automatically adjusts to the, well, supposedly to the plants, and it will mulch that little spot between the rows, like so. Now, oh, let's see if we can. Whoa, come on. Okay, back it up. Back it up. There you go. See, it's mulching on the grass a little bit. There you go. So it's a mulcher. Right, there we go. You can see it working its little mulchy magic. So if we run over here, let's lift it up and go over to where we plowed it, because that's where we're going to see it actually do something, because it's we have created a field here. There we go. As we lower, it should be showing some kind of animation, although it's hard to tell. But it is, oh yeah, there we go. It's yeah, it's hard to tell. It is showing some cultivating. So it cultivates, and then that little brush smooths things down and brushes the dirt back, piles it back up onto the vines, is what I'm assuming it does, or supposed to do. If we drive a little bit over this part, you can see where it's actually cultivated, or gave a cultivated state through that little patch there, as you can see. Right, and that is the Lizard Multi. Moving on to the next piece of equipment then. So the next piece of equipment we're going to look at is the Lizard PFD Vario, and I'm sure most of you have seen something along this line. It's a pre-pruner, and the attachment's actually on this side. You see this here? Well, we'll show you that right after we find it under Tools and Grape Technology, of course. And there it is, the PFD Vario, 13,200, 70 horsepower required, 6 mile per hour operating speed. There it is. It is a pre-pruner. Oh yeah. All right, hopping in. We come up to it from that side, and we'll get the, there it is. Now watch the magic happen. Ba-bam! So there it is. There it is, all hooked up. And if we go over to somewhere not quite so bright, we can see how this operates. L1 and X will unfold it, and it will do this. Then it's ready to go. L1 and circle will lower it, get it ready to go. L1 and square turns it on, like so. And that is all there is to that. If we pop over here, I have it already on and ready to go. And as you go forward over around the vines, it does that. And when it actually is ready to do the pre-pruning, that is when it actually it will do something it should be doing. Of course, you can't get out of the. Let me see. Can you get out of there if we lift it and turn it off? Can we? No, we're basically stuck in there. So just so you know, you can't get out until you get out to one end or the other. So that's really how it works, and that's as simple as that. That is the Lizard PFD Vario pre-pruner. On to the next and I think last item of this pack. All right, so the last thing we're going to last piece of equipment we're going to look at is the Lizard Zephyr, and this is obviously, well, maybe not obvious to some, but it is a sprayer, and we will find this under grape technology. And here it is, the Zephyr, $52,500. It will spray herbicide or liquid fertilizer, 2,000 liter capacity, 4 meters in width, but we'll talk about that, 4 miles per hour working speed. It doesn't have any options, it is what it is. Right, so hopping in, we do have L1 and left on the D-pad to open the lid, although, oh, it is a bit heavy. So here we can fill it up with herbicide or fertilizer. Let's go with fertilizer just because. And yes, indeed, it is a bit heavy. As you can see how this thing is kind of manhandling itself around with this Landini. L1, unfold. So it will do this. Get it out of transport mode. Let me get a better tractor because this is not working out all that well. All right, so it definitely did not like that Landini, and maybe it was too small or something like that, but the Fendt, I know it works fairly well on. There we go. So it's probably because it's a little bigger or it's heavier or something like that. So let's go through L1 and X, opens it up like so. Right. Takes a minute. Okay, L1 and circle lowers it and lifts it. Doesn't actually show it doing much, but I think you have to lower it in order to turn it on. And I have turned it on, however, oh, close the cover, raise, yes, okay, so this one's acting a little bit strangely. L1 and right stick, left and right, opens and closes that, and up and down opens and closes the left one. So I suggest you play around with this first, doing this before you get into the vines. And that's pretty much, then let's see, lower and raise. I don't think the lower and raise does anything at all. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, lower and raise. That lowers that back wheel. I was wondering what was that. Right, there you go. So 5 miles per hour, as you can see, is the working speed. And yeah, so the reason I say do all that before you get into the field is because, well, this is what happened to me when I tried to do it once I was in already amongst the vines. It's got all discombobulated here. Yeah, messed up badly. So do all of this first. Okay, so we can turn that. There we go. We turned it off. Now that we have them opened, unfolded, and adjusted, so make sure you adjust them to kind of get them ready, because otherwise they just go all wonky. And now we can go in, and once you're here, you can adjust the proper width, turn it on, and there we go. just like that. Now I was able to, oh yes, one other thing, backing up does not work with you can only go forward. So if you've got some kind of obstacle at the end of your row, you're hooped with this thing. You are not backing out of anything with that. So yeah, just a caution. Yeah, not backing up. And yeah, so we just hop back over here. That wraps it up. So thank you all for watching. I'm Lunar Farm Guy, and this is most of it anyways here. The Vineyard Pack Crossplay. So if you PC and Mac users want to play with your console friends, this is the pack to download if you're going to use, well, this one, because there is one for PC and Mac only, but this is the Vineyard Pack Crossplay, SMI modding team, E.T.A, La Marchoise, and EdoMod, 77.74 megabytes to download. It is all platform. And thank you for watching again. I'm Lunar Farm Guy, and remember, it's only a game, so till next time, bye for now.